HMI USA. My name is Maria and I'm standing here with Zafar. He's the head of self-driving vehicles at MayMobility. Hi.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you for taking this time to have our short interview here. As a starter, as I said, you're the head of self-driving vehicles, and your company is being one of the first to deploy autonomous driving shuttles. So what is your vision, or how do you want to shape the experience that we have in autonomous shuttles?
Yeah, I think the interesting thing for us is the ability to move fast and learn. We hear from so many traditional automakers that developing the technology and getting a vehicle platform ready is going to take years. So we're talking about 2021 and beyond. We actually think that there's an opportunity to do that today and to learn from vehicles that can be put out in the world now. And so we've chosen a vehicle platform that is it's low speed, it's safe, it's pretty robust, and it allows us to put our technology stack on top of that and deploy in the world today. So we're really excited about having self-driving vehicles out on the road with real users, real passengers, and we're learning a ton every day.
As you're learning a ton every day, so what is the bar you're trying to achieve, like the best user experience that you want to have in your shuttles?
Honestly, we don't know. I think it's still very early. What we do know is that we want it to be comfortable and personal, and underneath it all, it has to be trustworthy. So those are sort of the foundational elements that we're looking to develop, but we're learning. And that means really understanding users' preferences, their own journeys, and how we create a set of technologies inside of the cabin that meets those needs.
So it's more like a personalized drive that they can have in your shuttle. So if they want to relax, they relax. If they want to be busy and work, they work. And all the light and everything else is set to this personal need.
Yeah. How do we create the right set of interfaces and technologies that meets their needs? Like you said, if they're on their way to a business meeting, how can we help them be productive? If they're just looking to unplug after a long day, can we help them take a nap or enjoy some music or what have you? You know, those are the types of things that we're thinking a lot about.
And you presented a keynote about the multi-passenger UX Myla 2.0. Can you share some insights with us?
Yeah, so Myla is our vision for what we think the autonomy experience can be on our platform. So, you know, the vehicles we have out in our fleet today, they are based on a Polaris GEM E6 vehicle platform. There's an interesting opportunity for us to just use that to create unique experiences. So we push the seats out to the very edge. They're facing each other. We really want to encourage people to try to have social interactions inside. We've got these beautiful 49-inch displays that span the width of the car that people can interact with and consume content through. So it's all about using that as a test bed to test different types of interactions, different types of service models, and figure out what really meets those people's needs and what can we sustainably attack as a business. Yeah.
And you said you tested it like 50,000 test drives. What is like the most curious or the most surprising feedback you got from one of these test drives?
Yeah, so since we launched in June of 2018, we've given 50,000 rides. And the interesting thing about it is everyone forgets it's autonomous.
Really?
Yeah, and when you're able to deliver an experience that's safe, comfortable, and trustworthy, people will quickly shut off that fear and go right back into whatever sort of their day-to-day activity is. So, you know, we see a lot of people that just pull out their phone and they're going right back into texting or listening to music, or if they're traveling with their friends, they're having a conversation with their friends. One of my favorite stories is one of the first rides we gave when we were launching was to a group of executives from the business partners that we were serving, and within a couple of minutes of the car ride, they quickly went right into business meeting mode.
Really?
And so from there, we actually dubbed the car the Carference Room. And so it's those types of experiences and learnings that we think, you know, we can actually build some really interesting use cases and unique spaces on that platform.
This is like amazing because with all the conferences we also have with the Car HMI series, with the automotive series, we hear a lot about safety being the bottleneck or like the main pain point we have right now. And in terms of that, also the trust that the people put into autonomous vehicles. But you say more or less a totally different side.
Well, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I think
not totally,
there's still a long time to ensure that the technology itself is fully operational and fail-safe, and we do have a human in the vehicle to intervene.
Okay.
So there is what we call a fleet attendant, but that vehicle is still operating a large percentage of the time en route in autonomy. And that's actually the core of the talk that I gave, is how do we take the role that the human plays in the car today and create an experience and the right technology stack inside of the car that can replace that human, to help offer safety, comfort. How do we communicate those things to the passenger? So yes, there's still a lot of work to do there, but I think that idea that humans are fundamentally afraid of this technology, it probably won't last too long.
Yeah, because like you said, they trust and it works, and they have their business meetings or plug in their phones and so on.
That's why I compare it to airplanes. Airplanes fly on autopilot 90-95% of your flight, and that pilot is really only intervening on takeoff and landing. Do you care about whether it's on autopilot or not? Do you even care about what kind of car it is or plane it is? Most passengers are thinking about comfort and Wi-Fi and what flavor of cookie they're getting and things like that. And we think that it's going to be very similar in the self-driving vehicle experience.
And are you using innovative development processes to develop these HMI solutions, or what is your angle to get there?
As a startup, we try to move very fast. So we operate in a very agile manner. We try to run sprints every couple of weeks to develop a lot of the non-core technology, the not safety critical stuff. We're moving quite fast there. Even just our vehicle platform and our business model is very unconventional. Okay. We're essentially offering a test bed to learn out in the market, and most people aren't, especially more of the larger traditional automakers, aren't interested in that business. But we think it's an opportunity for us to learn fast.
Learn fast and get already the customers that you want to have on board.
That's right. Yeah, there is a first mover advantage there, where if we can get into the market, show people that this is a viable service, that it meets their needs, and that it's only going to improve over time, both from a functional perspective and from an economic perspective, that's really appealing to our potential customers.
I would think so. You're also hosting a Challenge Your Peers session, which is an interactive session about the perfect multi-passenger user interface. And what do you want the attendees to take away from that discussion?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting opportunity to hear a lot of different perspectives. Again, there are people working on these issues from the Tier 1 supplier side of things, so they're very deep in the technology. They're the OEMs, and how do you actually offer this as a business model? There are startups like ours that are trying to do a bit of everything. I think the key takeaway is going to be how do we get there quickly? What are the types of things that we need to be doing today, not waiting long time for these development cycles, but what can we be doing today to start answering some of these questions?
Last question, what are you looking forward to? So what is the HMI feature that you want to have in an autonomous car?
Actually, it's less about HMI and it's more about just unplugging. I would love the opportunity to let the car drive itself and be able to look around and enjoy the world, and be able to see things that I wasn't able to see when I was so focused in front of me on the road. And those are the types of things we hear from our passengers every day, and I think there's just going to be more and more opportunity for us to build those types of connections between people in the car and people and the world around them.
So it's more about connecting again after all these smartphones and everybody looking at the phone and not really talking to each other. Now we have another opportunity to really connect again. I think these vehicles could be a great opportunity for those social types of experiences and just learning about the world around you. Thank you very much for this short interview, Zafar, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thanks for having me.